Alright lads, new merch is about to be deprecated once season 4 of the podcast comes out, so if you want this one, grab it now. It's on the Teespring store. Let's get into the next round of Suzerain, shall we? I know it's been a bit of a while since we got the last one, but you know, people to do, things to see. Alright, will of the state. What was going on? We just had that big UN meeting and we were absolutely slamming it, weren't we? Alright. Meeting with Wishy. David had scheduled a private meeting with me but didn't specify what it was about. I heard a knock on the door. Mr. President, may I come in? Yeah, please. Thank you. He slowly made his way towards the chair in front of my desk and sat down. First of all, thank you for your time. Don't mention it. What's wrong? I wanted to ask how you're doing. Oh, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Oh, that's very good. Please be sure to take some time for yourself amid all this. If you ignore the mental fatigue, it will slowly creep on you. It will poison your thoughts. Yeah, thank you for your valuable advice. Sure thing, bud. Thank you for taking my advice over the years. And he started coughing. What a privilege for me. I had the chance to watch my student grow into a fine and strong leader in my lifetime. What a privilege indeed. You tried your best to bring reform to Swordland, and that is valiant in itself. It's okay to feel frustrated by failure, but change, unfortunately, doesn't happen easily. You paved a path for future generations to follow, and they will remember you for it. That's right. I'll do whatever I can to leave a good world for the ones who will come after us. That's the spirit. We can't be sulking about our failures for too long, otherwise we will spiral into despair. This country does not need any more despair. So, the elections are fast approaching. How are you feeling about your chances? Can't say for sure, but I'm hopeful. Good, that is what a leader should say. I'm afraid I have an announcement to make to you. Go on. After the term is done, I will be retiring. For what reason? I have been in this line of work for many decades now, and I swore an oath to myself years ago I would quit if I ever felt like I didn't have the physical capability to serve anymore. At that point, I would become a hindrance. That time has come, Mr. President. Oh, my bones are aching, my hands are shaking, and my voice is failing. Besides, I'm sure you can find a younger minister who's a little more full of life. He winked at me and chuckled, which turned into another cough. The bugger's got lung cancer and he's about to cark it. That's what's going on. You'll be sorely missed, David. It was an honour, Mr. President. Give him the old huggaroo. Best of luck, Anton. Thank you. Alright, and he's out of here. So when do you reckon this election is, eh? What's this briefing? Read the report from Conriat. Swordish media mogul and businessman Marcel Caronti has officially endorsed us to be the next president of Swordland. Nice. With Mr. Caronti's wide-ranging connections and new media power, we can expect more votes in the upcoming election. Good. So that deal weren't for nothing. Vice President Gallardo shines during the campaign. Good. I knew he would be a good choice. Because he's a strategist, eh? 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 Alright, what do we got here? Agnolia puts forward a bid to join ATO. Interesting. Well, if they join ATO, this will undo all of the manoeuvring that we've been doing about trying not to get them to drag us into a war. But it will also mean that any war which does occur will have the backing of everyone else in ATO, so we won't be on it alone. So, you know, probably slight net benefit, I would say. Okay, is that everything? Except for this guy? We'll do the news, eh? Luckhaven says, Lilius Graf challenges Anton Rain. That's right. Radical says blah blah blah. Alright, Geopolitico. Swordish foreign minister retires. Yeah, we know that one. Rumburg possesses nuclear weapons. This is what I was afraid of. During the Alliance of Nations session, President Rain has claimed that Rumburg possessed nuclear weapons. Today, I already knew that. Okay, good. Today, the investigation committee asked by AN has found evidence that President Rain was in fact saying the truth. Rumburg has nuclear weapons. So, what does this mean for Eastern Merkapa? In the region, Rumburg has always been one of the strongest military powers and also one of the most threatening, which secures them the position of being a key player. Possession of nuclear weapons by such a country not only threatens their neighbours and long-time rivals, Swordland, but also nations that are further away from their immediate reach. Rumburg's new status as a nuclear power will make them a force to be reckoned with. Balance of the world is about to change again. Yeah, so this is just a straight balance of power consideration. Now that we've managed to stall their land force invasion, they've pivoted to an alternative option. They have nukes, that means we've got to get nukes as well, which will be really expensive, and it will suck that we have to spend all the money on it, but it's necessary, otherwise they can just bully us. AN puts forward motion in support of Swordland. During the latest session in the Alliance of Nations, voting began to put forward a motion in support of Swordland against Rumberg's claims. The resolution from the Assembly was in favour of Swordland. Nice. As part of this new motion, unless Rumberg complies with the demands of the AN to stop their destabilising activities in the region, severe sanctions may be imposed by other member countries. Queen Beatrice Livingston called the outcome preposterous and accused AN of meddling in the foreign policies of Rumberg. What are dits? Alright, read the report from Holsword. Existence of nuclear weapons in Rumberg confirmed. Yeah, we already just read that. With the now ex-Interior Minister Lilias Graf challenging President Anton Rain following her resignation, a Congress has been called at which members of the USP will determine the party's future leadership. At the Grand National Assembly, both Graf and Rain will make speeches, after which the votes will be cast. Alright, well, my speech-making skills have been pretty good, so let's try and see what we can do. See if we can seal the deal on this election. United Swordland Party Congress. This is the one. So we drive up there. How you feeling back there, sir? Good. Good to hear. I still don't believe how Ms. Graf could run against you. She owed her position to you. Don't worry, she's not going to win. Some people have no respect or gratitude, Serge. Honestly, she doesn't owe me anything. I only picked her to get the Conservative support. Still, I would never bite the hand that fed me. You're a good man, Serge. Good luck. Cheers. See you on the way back. Bloody blah. Look at all this reading. Damn. About to read you boys a novel, eh? Alright, time to face Lilias. How you feeling about the vote? Many members were thrown off by Lilias' sudden campaign, and I'm sure some will be reticent to vote for a woman, but still, much of the Conservative wing sympathises with her. It's going to be a close race. But I'm positive that if you remind them you are who you are right before the vote, you can win the day. Wish I could be that optimistic. Sir, looks like it's starting. He pointed at the podium. Albin Clavin was there. He was about to introduce the candidates. Righto. Member of the National Assembly, blah blah. We gather here today in the 28th Congress of the United Swordland Party for the third leadership race in its history. As one of the youngest members of the Assembly, I am honoured to be opening this historic session today. Members of the USP will soon be voting on whether President Rain or Lilias Graf shall assume leadership going forward. Before we begin the selection process, I would like to invite both candidates to give very short speeches. Alright, let's get in there. Fellow members of the USP. Together we have achieved a lot in the past 4 years. I took office to bring reform to this country. I took on responsibility to fix our constitution. People want reform for us, so we did our best to deliver. And together we tried to resist the establishment. But I am here to do more, to bring meaningful change. That's a good option. But I believe if we stand together, nobody can stop us. Yeah, that's the one. Bit of inspiration. Help me continue our fight to make this country great. I managed to bring the recession under control. Let's unite under this flag one more time. Do not fall to Mrs. Graf's lies. She betrayed our trust by leaving a very important office. It's a bit sharp, isn't it? I don't think Ms. Graf can provide any alternative. Well, you know, slight attack, right? Miss Graf is a puffin. No. Do you want to give control of this party to a woman who ran away from her duties? No. Give me your support and let's bring this country together. Elect me again so we can continue our great transformation. That's the way. A Morgna Vest Corps. Campaign music. Albin shook my hand and I walked back to my seat to the sound of loud applause. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Good speech, sir. Congratulations. Let's see what she has to say. She is one of the most experienced and respected members of this party. We all know her from her accomplishments in Arvery and Wholesword and as Swordland's interior minister. And Lilius walked up to the podium, accompanied by the old nationalist song about Swordish civil war, A Letter into Norkney, or The Light in the Darkness. Her eyes had a fire in them that I had never seen before. She must have a trick up her sleeve. Guaranteed. There's no way that she doesn't. Fellow compatriots, it is an honour to be a candidate for the leadership of our great United Swordland party. She pulled out a handkerchief and dabbed at her eyes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, I don't think she's going to be able to beg votes this way. Forgive me, this beautiful song always fills me with emotion. My opponent may call that a weakness. I consider it a strength. Yeah, but you're playing to the traditionalists, mate. What are you up to? It brings me hope to see all the energy in this Congress Hall today, but hope alone does not suffice. I don't want to listen to songs any longer. I want us to sing them from the rooftops. Yeah. What is it that you want, sons and daughters of Swordland? I'll tell you right now. You want a president who will stand bravely against the wealthy elites in their mansions rather than kowtow to their every demand. What a hypocrite. You want a Swordland that respects its culture and founding values? Yeah, that's me. You want a strong and united Swordland? Again, me. And I'm here to tell you that none of these things are possible as long as Anton Rain is in office. As long as those who rule the state become more and more alienated from the values that make us who we are, and the deplorables who stand silent against this sink us deeper into a quagmire of moral and cultural corruption. What a load of bollocks. He tore his own wife away from her rightful place at home and forced her into politics in the name of women's liberation. Chick, you're in politics. What are you talking about? He is a disgrace to the name of Tarquin's soul. Yeah. We cannot allow him to taint the accomplishments of this party any further. Don't comment. Don't worry, sir. Let her say what she wants. The result won't change. After nearly 4 years of the President behaving abominably against all my advice, I have no choice but to tender my resignation. For I believed we could achieve much more, and I still believe in the idea of a united Swordland. I appeal to your innate sense of honour and dignity as Swordish people. Elect me as your leader, and I promise that with the Lord on my side I shall elevate this party and this glorious nation to the heavens. Mr. Rain, your time leading this country is through, and I am here to bring down the walls you built. Thank you, a Morgana Vescor. So she's repeating the same line that I did. Yeah, right. I did not react to her speech, and the voting began. Ooh, 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 what do you reckon, lads? I think that I've pulled this one through. Let's see what happens. Thank you for voting. The results are ready. After counting every vote, we have come to a conclusion. The winner of today's leadership vote is determined to be Anton Rain. In your face. The hall reverberated with thunderous applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thanks, lads. I couldn't have done it without your support. Especially the note-taking. I congratulate our now and future president. He will remain our leader and represent us in the next election. I knew it, sir. Congratulations. Thank you, Lucian. Now that that's settled, it's time we plan our next term together. Yes, we should start immediately. Fantastic. Re-election. Alright. What do we got here? Landslide win for Rain at USB Congress. Frickin' landslide, lads. Radical Graphs power grab fails. Yeah. And that's all of those. Alright, so let's get back into this. Dinner at home. This was probably another soap opera, eh? Gianna, how was school today? I won a prize at the handicrafts fair. Mama didn't seem to care that much though. Well, I care. Mama's in there. I gotta do some homework before dinner. Hug her from behind. When she realised it was me, she smiled and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Oh, she screamed and dropped her ladle. Whoops. Why don't you fix yourself a drink in the living room and I'll let you know when dinner's ready. Pour myself a whiskey and flick through one of Monica's women's magazines. Suddenly, Frank burst through the door. Sorry I'm late. I was with Shayna. We were studying. Yeah, I bet you studied her real hard, mate. I hope you two are being careful. We're certainly being more careful than you've been with your treatment of her people. Ah, here we go. I bet he's become a bloody communist. Hey, Pipsqueak. Dinner's ready. Now that we're all here, I wanted to say something. I know the past 4 years have been hard on all of us. I was so busy focusing on the needs of the Swordish people, I sometimes forgot about Swordland's most important people, my own wife and children. I hope I can make it up to you someday. And we'll have plenty of time to that because I'm retiring from politics at the end of this term. Now I'm going for re-election. Once the election's over, I'm taking you all on holiday. What about you? Yeah, Frank, are you coming? Sure, as long as we don't go anywhere lame. Where are we going to go? We'll go to the Bentley coast. Great, more family time. For now, can we finish dinner? Of course. The four of us ate and animatedly discussed our holiday plans. Once we had cleared our plates, I went up to my study. I still had work to do. Work, work, work. Always work. What does Geopolitico have to say? ATO and CSP signal sanctions on Rumburg. Yes, in your face. ATO leader President Dwight Walker and CSP leader Leon Milenev made history yesterday with a joint announcement to address the threat of Rumburg. The declaration signalled sanctions on Rumburg if the threatening moves continued in eastern Merkapa. During the speech, they also thanked Swordland for the efforts to bring more attention to the issue. Overnight, Rumburg's economy has taken a strong hit due to the trade. President Rain's strategy to isolate Rumburg has proven to be working. I'm absolutely stoked that I knew that ATO would come on side, obviously, but the fact that CSP would come on side and we've managed to alienate Rumburg from the entire international community, fantastic stuff. Now, the combination of the keeping those nukes, which will be really expensive, and the hit to their economy will drive them further down into the path of rogue state, essentially moving them further and further. It means that the correct path for them will be to prioritise the military and the arms, which obviously, you would think would be bad for us, but on the whole, these decisions are made on the basis of military strength. So, if we can get our hands on nuclear weapons, I will regard the Rumburg issue solved. Okay, what do we got next? Sometime later. Loading. Alright. Well, that was very mysterious. Nothing? Okay. Election speech. My term was almost over. I paced back and forth behind the stage, gathering my strength. This was the last major event before the election. A massive crowd awaited me. It was the biggest gathering of people we'd managed to assemble during my campaign, and if my advisors were right, it was also the largest ever assembled in Sol Square. Nice. Bordered by Holsword State University, Holsword Ark Sanctuary, the Library of Swordland, and the historic City Hall, the square could accommodate nearly 1 million people, and tonight it was packed. Nice. The noise of the crowd rose up around me on all sides. Would I ever address so many people again? Suddenly the music began. It was Victor and Sistar, a famous song by the composer of the Swordish national anthem, Victory is Close. Then Lucian announced my name and invited me onto the stage. It was finally time. Oh. In my dark grey suit and maroon tie, I walked up to the podium as the crowd started applauding. I saw a sea of USP flags and banners before me. It was as if people had painted the square maroon. I took a look at my electorate. Fellow Swordish citizens, I welcome all who have come here again to support a new beginning and stable progress towards a brighter future. Today the future belongs to the people, the future belongs to Swordland, and I welcome you all. I must thank everyone who came here to support me during such a critical time for Swordland. I'm going to go with this one. A new beginning, a stable progress towards a brighter future. I've counted on Lucian Gallarda's calm and calculated judgment in these difficult days. I am fortunate to have such a great man by my side. Lucian waved at the crowd as they cheered loudly. I am grateful to walk this path in life with the amazing Monica Rain who has supported me through the last 4 years. I must thank Monica for her hard work in leading the campaign to expand the rights of Swordish women. Problem with that is that I want to try and drag as many of the Conservatives out from underneath, what's her name? I thank my family for making me the man I am today. Yep, alright. That's a kind of middle one. Monica walked out on the stage when I said that. The crowd cheered one more time. And most importantly, I thank you for supporting me through these difficult years. Well, it's not about me. My greatest thanks goes out to all of you who came here today. You are the backbone of this country. Your noise is shaking the whole country. I must thank every one of our citizens who resisted and fought with us. There we go. I had to pause and wait for the giant wave of applause to subside. 4 years ago, you and I began a journey together. We came together to bring prosperity to this glorious nation. Very good option. Since 1954, swords have been given cliffs to climb and found the tenacity to climb them. Now we can see the valley below. No, I can't give the sense that the job is done, because it's not. Once you protested our corrupt political establishment, you elected me to fight for you, to finally put Swordland first. Nope, I'm going to go with the first one. Prosperity. With the power you entrusted upon us, my administration fought to serve your interests alone. When I look back, I see achievements that will never be forgotten. Our government showed this nation steady, consistent and principled leadership with a clear and positive plan. I mean, I wouldn't quite go that far. We'll go with that one. A vote for me is a vote for you is always a message that sells. Economic instability and depression plagued our country, but together we overcame them. Good option. We managed to fix the recession and put it behind us. Now we can safely begin building our country back up again. Potentially good. By securing valuable international deals, we brought foreign investments and greatly increased our economic prosperity. Potentially. We completed one of the biggest infrastructure projects in Swordland's history, which led to rapid economic development. They're all good, but I'm going to go with the first one. Together we overcame. As I promised 4 years ago, I made the military the focus of my administration and greatly strengthened our defence forces. I took responsibility for strengthening our military and delivered the best possible response in 4 years' time. No, I'll go with that one. Good. We improved rural education by purchasing new materials and upgrading old school equipment. We provided the Swordish people with higher quality and more accessible education. So that's for everyone, not just ruralities. We taxed the elites of Swordland to balance their unequal share of wealth across our nation. Every one of my decisions was made to serve all Swordish citizens, regardless of the ethnic background, religion, or personal wealth. Yep, nothing else coming across as a lib in this case. In the face of foreign intervention and internal militants, we enacted new security laws and eliminated the threats. True, but not really a re-election message. We unified our religious system and stopped militant groups from using religion to justify their violence. True. Law and order always sells well. We took steps to protect our proud mother tongue and unified our education. During our term, traditional values of Swordland were protected and strengthened like never before. Yeah, because remember, trying to scoop away as much support as I can from the traditionalist. Trying to attract as much support as I can from the traditionalist wing. Today, every Swordish citizen is entitled to medicine for free. Today, Swordish citizens enjoy more services and liberties than ever before. By establishing the Free Trade Commission, we ensured healthy competition so that our citizens can buy higher quality products for less. Good, but I worked long and hard to ensure a brighter future for our country and people. So that can be interpreted, across a range of different topics. So each person who thinks that I've done something right can kind of fill in what they think the right thing that I did was in there. We're now giving housing assistance to all Swordish citizens who need it. We're one step closer to eliminating homelessness. I've always had the best interests of our people at heart, and I will continue to do so. Fantastic. We integrated Swordland into the international arena. Now Swordland is a member of ATO. True. As a new member of the ATO, we will be walking towards the future with more confident steps together with our allies. Swordland will stand with ATO against millennialism. With the power of the West, Swordland will be the dominant force in Eastern Merkapa. Strength sells, so this is good. Dominant force. Confident steps together with our allies. Unity, good message. We integrated Swordland in the international arena. Now Swordland is a member of ATO. We're trying to celebrate, not just state the facts. Swordland will be the dominant force in Eastern Merkaba. I took a look at my supporters. 4 more years! 4 more years! Fantastic. We have made great progress, we are making progress, and there is still a lot more to do. True, but it lacks ambition and inspiration. Now it is our task to build a more hopeful Swordland, a Swordland that is confident in its ability to reach for the heavens. True, these changing times are full of excitement and opportunity, and here you face a choice. Our opponents' policies are dramatically different from ours. They oppose the stability we're trying to bring to Swordland. I don't know if it's stability exactly they oppose. The other candidates have made no realistic promises. Let them dream while we make things happen. That is why I need your help. This is the one. Let's build a bold, prosperous, and forward-looking Swordland. United Swordland. The audience broke out into applause again. Now we have historic goals within our reach. We will keep building a more hopeful Swordland. Nobody can hold us back. After all these years, we have come too far to abandon the dream we fought for. We must keep moving to the future we imagined in 1953. More than 30 years after the Swordish people seized the right to determine their own destiny, we still need to move forward to perfect our nation. Yeah, we're going to go with number 1, historic goals within our reach. Good message. I promise you, we will remind everyone that the Republic of Swordland is the greatest nation in the world. We are still all fired up, still ready to go. It seems defensive. Together we have been building our dream of Swordland, the great Swordish dream, and today, in this square, that dream is renewed. Fantastic. Vote United Swordland, vote Rain, let's go forward. Well, they know who I am, but still, the more you hear a thing, the better. Vote United Swordland, yeah. God bless Swordland. Thunderous applause. Everyone was cheering my name. Wave, raise a fist, or make a victory sign. Raise a fist, I think. Alright. Election time, is it? Chapter 4. Checkmate. Hell yes. Alright, lads. The moment of truth. On election day, millions went out to cast their votes, setting turnout records in Swordland. Oh, I'm just going to move the mic, so there might be a bit of a kind of rumble here. Sorry, lads. There we go. For the second time, your moment of truth had arrived. The United Swordland Party came out as the winner again, securing your second term as president. Nice. Victory had come. That's right, as promised. The National Front was now the second biggest party in the Assembly, leaving the PFJP to be third. The die had been recast. Alright, so now we need to move back towards the Libs again to try and bump it back the other way. So then in the next election, PFJP comes up. Because remember, we play them off against each other to keep them balanced, because that's what keeps the central party the strongest. The die had been recast. Aladiacta re-est. In a historic success, the People's Front coalition got both the Workers' Party of Bludia and the Communist Party of Swordland into the Assembly as its fourth biggest political force. You congratulated the new Assembly members, you congratulated all parties that participated in the elections. That's right. Ahead of your inauguration, members of the opposition already began pressing you to attempt constitutional reform once more. Many citizens were also starting to sympathise with them. In response, you promised to cooperate with them. That's right, so that's the shift back to the Libs. This time we should be able to get the reforms through. That'll give me a success, and then maybe we'll get even a third term. You promised to cooperate as soon as the official inauguration was complete. Your second term was about to begin. Ooh, the tension! You stood on the podium overlooking the famous Hill of Pride once again. It was a particularly cold day. When you looked at the thousands of people with hopeful eyes, your shoulders grew heavy and you shivered. You held Monica's hand. What a good chick, eh? Standing by me through all that. You dreamed about the future. You saw a wealthier swordland. The country saw massive economic development over your next term. The remnants of the Sol era were long gone. Business became more profitable and the markets were freed of regulation. As the market became freer, the people of Swordland also became free. As the economic boom continued, the most critical problems vanished one by one. Swordland was finally letting go of its past. You worked hard to reach the potential of the Swordish dream. You worked hard to establish neoliberal Arcasian capitalism in Swordland. You did everything you could to expand freedoms. The potential of the Swordish dream, that's right, because that's kind of a mix of these, right? With a sense of duty to your nation, you worked hard, sacrificing all of your time, your sleep, and even your soul. Thanks to your efforts. Yeah, that's right, of all the things a man sacrifices. Thanks to your efforts, Swordland became stronger and a better place to live for its citizens. And you heard them cheer your name. You smiled. You knew you deserved to be praised more than anyone for the success. You knew there was more you could be doing. That's right. Always more. Ever more. Monica was gaining traction in the capital as one of the fiercest women's rights activists, rallying thousands of Swordish women to fight for change. Your support buoyed Monica to new heights. With her activism and your administration, Swordish women made strides towards true parity. Diana became a strong and successful young woman, and Frank was a family man already. Nice. You were proud of them. Years passed. No more obstacles to the Swordish dream were left. Now the morning had truly come. The morning brought a united and happy Swordland, an independent and formidable Swordland. You knew it was possible. Victory was here. Hell yes. Achievement unlocked. Amogna Herkoren. A fierce gust of wind shook you out of your daydream. Monica squeezed your hand. Years had not passed. You were still on the podium, waiting to be sworn in. Ah, ripped off. Oh no. Counting chickens before they're hatched. That is a cruel trick. Chief Justice Hawker stood next to you and said, "Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear." Alright. Oh, here we go. Is this it, lads? Summary. History will remember you as a centrist. Yes, that is right. Based middle path. Anton Rain, 4th President of Swordland, assumed office 54. Vice Presidents Peter Vectorn and Lucian Gallardo, preceded by Evald Alfonso. Personal details. We know all this stuff. History will remember you as a centrist. Yep. So, very slightly to the right, because I was leading to capitalism. Show Swordish politicians. Albin Clavin, Peter Vectorn, Kirkas, Stahler, Lek, Sual, Gloria Tori, Lilius Graf, Tarquin Sol. Yeah, look at these, eh? Alright, very good. It's between 1954 and 1958. Is there more debrief, or is that the game? That's it. Alright, lads. Well, if I'd known there was only half hour left, maybe I would have hurried up, but, you know, needs, must, and all of that kind of thing, right? So, anyway, those of you that have been watching, thank you very much. It's all for you guys. I hope that my approach has been informative. Maybe you will have learnt something about strategic studies and the strategic studies perspective on the world, geopolitics and international relations. If you have, then my goal has been fulfilled. On the other hand, if you've watched and it's been purely entertainment because you know it all already, fantastic too. And if you didn't get either of those things out of it, then I don't know what to tell you. I will probably come up with something else to do. I have a few ideas buzzing around in the back of my head, but they're not quite ready to be given birth by being spoken just yet. But again, if you've been watching, thank you very much. What a great game, eh, lads? This is definitely the best kind of political game that I've ever played, in the sense that it has the real kind of balance of internal and economic and external and military affairs, all of those things going on at once, and all of the kind of domestic politics and that kind of stuff. So, shout out to the man who suggested it. You know who you are. And at some point I'll release a video when I make up my mind about what the next plan is going to be. Thanks again.